Hey y'all, Reaganite71 back with you for a Halloween series. We're going to do some Halloween scroll saw projects, and we're just going to list them boom, 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 one after the other each day in honor of Halloween. Now, all of these patterns that I'm using were created by a really neat guy by the name of Steve Good. He's got a YouTube channel where he does scroll sawing, and he's got a most excellent blog. I'll also have links to his patterns on my blog at Reaganite71.blogspot.com so that you can go right over to his site and find the patterns. He's got a giant free pattern catalog with all kinds of neat scroll saw goodies that you can download and projects that you can do. Today we're going to do Frankenstein. And in order to do this project, this is just a basic silhouette project, I'm actually going to use a real tiny blade called a spiral blade. The neat thing about a spiral is it cuts in all directions. Any way you push the wood, it's going to cut. It's like they took a blade and just kept twisting it until they had blade teeth pointing in all directions. Now this is an Olson 2.0 spiral blade. It works really good on these curvy areas anytime you have silhouettes. Now I've got some sharp, hard areas. I'll use a number 5 Olson reverse tooth for things like that. And also for the lettering here, I'm going to use a flat blade. That way I can get nice clean cuts. Now I've gone ahead and sprayed the pattern, let it sat for about 30 seconds, and then I applied it to the wood. I'm using, in this case, a single-sided oak plywood. And then I took the plywood and I went ahead and cut it down on the table saw to make it a more manageable piece. The next thing that I did was take packing tape and wrap it all the way around the project on the front and back sides. Of course, the packing tape keeps the blade cool, and it's going to really help with splintering. The next thing I did was drill out pilot holes for each and every inside cut. When you go to use a spiral blade, one of the things you can do is run your thumb along it. If it feels smooth, then it's upside down. As you run your thumb along it, if it feels rough, that's the right direction, and that's how you want it to go into the scroll saw. I'm going to start with that spiral, and I'm just going to hit all of the curved areas and take care of that first, and then the next thing I'll do is pop that number 5 reverse tooth Olson in, and then I'll hit all of these hard point areas, and we'll take care of those, plus all of the lettering down below. You see all that sawdust that's in there? It creates a whole lot of fuzzies and sawdust and stuff. It's not nearly as clean as a flat-sided reverse tooth blade, but that's okay. It'll get the job done. And you can actually move pretty fast with one of these once you get salty with it. For a new scroll sawer, one of the neat things is you don't have to be spinning the work a lot. You can pretty much just hold it in front of you and push it left, right, forwards, backwards, make all of your cuts without having to do a lot of spinning. And that's one of the neat things about a spiral. That's kind of nice. Now the only thing that I have left to do is the bat and then all of the lettering. I've switched over to a really small Galaxy #1 reverse tooth. This is something that you can use with fine veining, like if you wanted to put fine vein lines into a project. I'd use this first, and then I'd follow behind with an appropriately sized spiral blade. But this is going to help me make some really intricate cuts by using the proper blade. Hey, how about that? All right, let me get this off and we'll head over to the sanding table. Now that I've got all of the tape off, you can see there's still some paper left behind. I always like to take some mineral spirits on a rag and just kind of wipe it down. Wipe that paper, soak it in. Let it sit for about 30 seconds and it'll come right off. Now right here in the cutout, you can see a prime example of what a spiral blade will do. You can see all of that sawdust left behind. It's a little bit rougher on the inside. And right here we use the Olson No. 5 reverse tooth blade. And it's a lot cleaner on the inside. See there? That's the difference right there. But this, even this, is not too awful bad because it will clean right up. And one of the best ways to clean that stuff out is with an air hose. Next, I'm going to take a hobby knife and kind of clean up in some of these areas here. If you'd like to see more finishing options for fretwork, check out my fretwork finishing video, either right here or in the description section next to the video. Now I've set this upright to kind of give you an idea of what it might look like with a background. You could cut out a black backer board. In fact, the pattern calls for that, and it gives you a pattern to cut that out that you can paint. You can see the contrasting color, what it does for it. You could pick another color, maybe get a picture frame, put a cloth colored background behind it, all kinds of options. And of course, you could also use lighting to make it look really spooky. Guys, this is Reaganite71. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate it very much, and we'll see you next time.